And I'm Jennifer Hoff. There is a lot of damage, and it's very widespread from the Lloyd district to the Pearl district. This is the third night that these protesters have been out there. It started very small, to be clear, with a group of peaceful protesters and quickly turned into what police called a riot tonight. Here is what we know tonight. Militia leader Ammon Bundy is under arrest. We also found out that that community meeting that Dale was going to, it went on as scheduled at the John Day Senior Center, and I spoke to a resident who described what happened at that meeting when news of this gunfight broke.
When did you get word that something had happened?
Not too long into the meeting. We were there and it was crowded.
You've heard Jeff mention two businesses that have been the most affected by this, the bagel shop as well as Dosha. It's a salon. But there have been other businesses that have reported their windows being blown out by all of this. Again, all of the employees out of those two businesses got out safely. They actually smelled something unusual, smelled something funny, knew to call their managers. Managers knew to tell them to evacuate, and within about 10 minutes or so, that explosion then happened. They are lucky to be alive.
McCollum and Damian Lillard combined to score 63 points for the Blazers tonight, though.
Wow, Jennifer, have you ever thought about doing sports? I'm like seriously impressed right now. That was like really good.
Oh,
yeah.
Thanks.
The energy. You sound like you know what you're talking about. No,
well,
I'm
if
kidding.
you
No,
saw,
do.
my bracket, you would not think I knew what I was talking
No,
about.
but you do. Like you were cluing me in too earlier this evening.
Did you fill out a bracket?
I didn't really do one this year, so I'm just kind of watching it for fun.
Everybody's is busted.
I heard.
Kristen knows her weather, though, and she's saying it's going to be another beautiful day tomorrow.
Thanks, everybody, for joining us for KOIN 6 News at 11 o'clock. I'm Jennifer Hoff. Jeff Gianola is off tonight. And in those explosions, we know 8 people were hurt, including 3 firefighters, 2 police officers, and 3 civilians. Only 1 firefighter is still in the hospital tonight. And investigators are digging through all of that rubble there on the ground, and the fire chief says it will be a very tedious process. They will have to analyze every piece of debris to make sure they don't miss anything while still trying to find the cause of these explosions. And tonight there are so many questions. How did this happen? Who might be to blame? And just what went wrong? Those are details we'll hopefully learn as this investigation plays out. But our Cole Miller is digging deeper into that company that nicked the line tonight, and he's live for us. So, Cole, what exactly have you learned tonight? Remember, we told you 8 people were hurt in this blast. The firefighter who you see here, who was most hurt, spoke to us from his hospital bed tonight. That is good to see. Lisa's right. That area is usually so busy with traffic. So hopefully people heeded the warnings and either got home earlier or they're just staying home now to start and maybe having a glass of wine as they try and warm up through the night. Thanks, Lisa.
That's more like it, right?
What happened to a traditional card or some candy or a simple hug or I love you?
Yeah.
Put your phones down, people.
Unless you're going to play Tom Jones.
Exactly.
I thought it was a terrible game. I mean, I think Houston's better than that. And I've been a huge fan of J.J. Watt since he played with the Badgers, and I'm shocked that they didn't score a single point.
Yeah, it's amazing what a coaching staff can do for a team.
Jennifer, you grew up in Minnesota, and I imagine the story just dominated the headlines.
Yeah, I've really struggled with it the past few days. It was huge when this news broke over the weekend. It really changed the way we grew up. It really influenced how little kids grew up then. I mean,
feeling of safety,
yes,
whether you could go out
and
by
not
yourself.
just there in Minnesota. I think all around the country. I mean, it was such a big deal when that happened. I remember when my teachers would wear buttons with his picture on it.
Okay.
And again, just really influenced how my family raised us and how kids, I think, grew up. And to see some closure for this, finally, for that family, it's a big deal. It's really emotional after so long.
27 years later.
Yeah, and Patty Wetterling, I have to just recognize her because she has been such a leader and changed laws and has been so positive and still today said, hug your loved ones, eat ice cream, laugh, and have fun. That's something that you can do to honor Jacob and that family. Post-election day, we wanted to get our resident political expert Jim Moore's reaction to what happened yesterday. First, what we're seeing tonight, across the country are protests, including here in Portland. Did you expect that to happen?
You know, I did not expect it to happen. There was a fear that it would happen if Trump lost, because he said he wouldn't accept the results of the election. And so we were envisioning Trump supporters who were really angry out there. But this is the people who supported Clinton and a lot of Bernie Sanders supporters who just don't like Trump as the president.
A lot of people, a lot of polls had predicted Hillary Clinton to win. Obviously not the case today. Where did those people get it wrong? Is that wrong? What happened?
Well, the main thing is polling itself is harder. Basically, the number of people that respond to a poll used to be 60 or 70% response rate. Now it can be under 10% response rate. And so there's some self-selection happening. People who were supporting Trump were in effect not answering the poll. So that happened out there as well.
And some people are saying the folks who support Trump are just angry people, angry at certain things. Polls can't pick that up necessarily.
No, they can't pick it up. And so when you're angry, you tend not to want to waste your time with a pollster because they're part of the establishment. Also, the polls don't pick up how much your anger is. I'll give you a 5-point scale and you say, I'm at 11. And that doesn't get picked up.
Political analyst Jim Moore, thank you as always for breaking everything down for us. Also late tonight, we spoke with leaders of the Pacific Patriot Network who tell us they spoke with the FBI and was told there would be no FBI presence at the wildlife refuge and that anybody else who was left at the refuge was free to go home. 22 years ago, Tyrone Thies gunned down 3 women at a gas station, and he's been on the run ever since. Now, those women's family have not spoken publicly since then. Until now, you'll hear their plea and see the evidence police are sharing for the first time in this edition of Coin 6 Unsolved.
We're all here for the same reason.
Under the cover of darkness,
Because we're all family.
a group gathers in Gresham to shine light on the crime some here think has long gone cold.
This is the first time that somebody has been interested in even doing anything about the case.
I called Rose Smeltzer last month to talk about her mother 22 years after she was killed.
She was really a happy person. She would do anything for anybody.
In 1994, 51-year-old Rosalie Gertz worked at the Leathers Oil Company gas station, an abandoned building now on the city's east side that was crawling with cops on January 17th.
But I just remember them saying, Rosalie is gone. And I said, gone where? Where'd you go? She's dead.
Gresham police say Tyrone Thies shot Rosalie and 2 other workers, Kay Endicott and Mary Beth Carey.
I worry that he might hurt somebody else, because what's to stop him?
Rosalie's sister still wants answers.
How did he get away so easily without even being seen? You know, somebody had to have helped him.
Because the now 42-year-old suspect has never been seen again.
Where is he?
That's the million-dollar question.
Officer John Rasmussen says the department received its latest tip just 6 months ago.
The evidence on the table here is only a small portion of what was collected that day.
This evidence has never been seen before.
There's a strong case against Tyrone.
Pieces of a puzzle that also haven't uncovered many answers.
Do you think they've forgotten about the case?
The police? I don't think they ever forget about a cold case. I think it just sits in their car and just eats away at them. They want to do their job. They want to find this man.
Police say Thies skipped town a few days after the shooting at the gas station. They showed me these crime scene photos for the first time. Thies worked with the victims here, but quit when he was suspended for stealing. After police say he killed them, Thies stole thousands more dollars, and his cousin, Larry Scherf, was in the getaway car that Lori Stevens was driving.
You're a very evil person, because only evil does something like that.
Charlene's harsh words for the man accused of killing her sister
That's how she was, always smiling and happy.
are replaced with beautiful pictures
Her eyes stand out.
of a person she says can still light up the darkness that gripped her family so long ago.
If he's alive, let him answer for it. Let him go through the court process if he chooses. You know, it's not a given that he would be found guilty, but it's a given that he needs to come forward.
And a couple other notes. 2 years after the crime, a passerby found skeletal remains near the Troutdale Airport. The medical examiner even asked for Thies's dental records, but forensic studies would later determine it wasn't him. Also, Larry Scherf and Lori Stevens were arrested not long after that murder. They served 10 years in prison. Larry was not home when I went to talk to him, and Lori denied my interview request. But if you know anything about this cold case, call Gresham's tip line at 503-618-2719.